Download the BCSN Plus app today.
Yes, indeed. If we learn nothing from Tom Petty, it is the waiting is the hardest part. To welcome in Matt Melzak as this little walleye continue to wait to find out who their opponent will be. That will come to an end tomorrow. Game 7 between Iowa and Fort Wayne, as the Fish have had several days to sit, rest, and get ready, and hopefully not get rusty.
Yeah, well, that is, I mean, this team, though, is used to it the last couple of years. They've had to go through similar stretches where you've won a series early, and then you've got to be ready to go for the next series. So, you know what? Guys will all watch the game. They'll be ready to go. These two teams, Iowa and Fort Wayne, so you could prepare a little bit on the coaching side just to kind of get things ready to go in case whoever it is that you end up playing. But again, you're talking about two teams. Each team you saw over 8 times this year. You know how they're going to play.
They got Carson Bantle back for those 2 games in Indianapolis, and he has spent the majority of the season in Grand Rapids, made a big impact with Toledo. First half of the season, made a big impact those 2 games in Indy with 2 goals.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's just that big body. He gets to the front of the net. He knows where to go to score goals, and that, especially in the playoffs, is right in front. You look at a lot of the goals that were scored in that series, there's only a couple that weren't scored right within that little radius of the net. So just think about that as you go forward in this playoff run, because that's where a lot of the goals are scored. That's where you got to go, and Carson Bantle's the perfect guy to get there.
Yeah, NBA analytics wouldn't like the walleye shot sheet, as it's been all right in front. No three-point shots in hockey. Now, after they swept Indy, we asked Pat Mikesh what he was going to do, and he goes, I'm going to watch the Hens play some baseball. And he is happy with what he saw as the Mud Hens finished up a 6-game sweep over Omaha.
Yeah, I had a tough time picking out, well, what shirt do I wear? Do I go Walleye, and they won 4 straight in the playoff, or do I go with the Hens? They've won 6 straight, got a 6-game sweep at home. Only the 4th time the Hens have done it since we've gone to this format back in 2021. So, a heck of a run by the Mud Hens. What they did, it was led by their defense and pitching, and then they got some timely hitting, which they've been due to get over the course of the season. And you look, Mark, really over the last 2 weeks, even though they didn't win, they only won 1 game in Indy. They easily could have won 4,
right,
and maybe even 5 in that series. When you look back on those games, their batting average has gone up 12 points since the start of last week against Indy. So as that rises, shockingly, they're scoring more runs. And they're keeping runs from going on the board because their pitching better. And guess what's happening? They're
winning
putting
games.
W's.
Yeah. And while we were in Indianapolis for Game 4, the Mud Hens won a wild first game against Omaha. Riley Unruh, a walk-off walk to win it, earning Unruh the win as he pitched 3 innings in relief as a position player.
Yeah, he certainly did, and I think he surprised some people. Of course, he's got the eephus pitch that comes in there at about 38 miles per hour, just that high arcing floater. But then I think he surprised a couple batters when he threw an 85-mile-an-hour fastball, and they were, whoa, wait a minute. Because you know what? 85 looks really quick when you've been staring at 38 for multiple pitches in a row. But here's the funny thing. A week earlier, he was a catch from Jack Dunn ball was in his glove and popped out when he hit the ground, from having a save, too, and would have had 5 innings pitched, a win, a save, and an ERA of 0 to go along with a walk-off walk for a winner. What a week he had. And you know what? He's had a tremendous start to the season, already double digits in RBIs. He's hitting .360. He's done a great job to start the year as a utility guy.
We could have the Walleye and Hens playing Iowa in the next week if the Heartlanders can take care of business tomorrow night against Fort Wayne, but we know the Comets will be a tough out. Of course, all of those Walleye playoff games home and away live right here on BCSN. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it, Mark.